Hey Book World, I'm KM Robinson of KM Robinson Photography and Reading Transforms, and this is your book cover style guide quick look for The Society. In The Society, Sam and Jessica were friends, until Sam's dad was arrested for insider trading and Jessica turned on her. Now, after years of torture at the hands of the Queen Bee, Sam has finally found a way to get her revenge. Her best friend Jeremy disagrees with her, but hot new guy Ransom pushes for her to work even harder to bring down the Queen. In this awesome novel, we learn that revenge is not quite what we think it is, and bad things can happen, even when you have good intentions. I highly recommend this book, and not just because I'm friends with the author Jodie. It is a great book, you should definitely check it out. And the thing I love about this book is that it really lends itself to decorating your book images, based both on the content of the cover and content of the story. If you are basing your imagery off of the content of the cover of The Society, there's a lot of really cool things you can work with. If you take a look, it's got a lot of blue tones in it, so if you use blues or darker colors, that's really going to make that image stand out. I would also recommend using lighter colors like blues or whites or off-whites to really make it pop. Now if you take a look, you can also see that there are some cream tones here. That's going to look really nice with this book, as well as this red wax seal within the cover. That is going to make that pop and stand out in your images, so I would highly recommend using that color. Now if you look at the image, you can see that there's a lot of brick work involved, so if you take it outside and lay it on stones, or bricks, anything like that would be really cool to add into this image. You can also, of course, bring in the envelope and or the wax seal. That would look really cool in your images based off of the cover of this book. The story starts off by telling us about Sam's life before her father got arrested, and we know that she and Jessica were friends. And they used to do everything together, including pulling pranks, and so one of the things that you can add into your images is based on a prank that they pulled back when they were friends, involving pink wigs and falling glitter and snow from the ceiling. Anything like that would be a great nod to that scene in this book. You can also do things like pull in her notebook. We know that Sam's notebook is very important because it's where she's laid out her plan for revenge against Jessica. We also know that her best friend Jeremy finds this notebook and figures out what's happening and tries to talk her out of it. Now that her father has been arrested and her mother has left, Sam is living with her Aunt Laura, and she no longer has the extravagant lifestyle that she had been accustomed to. She no longer has her beautiful lavender bedroom or any of the things that were creature comforts to her. So if you can allude to that lavender room and then bring in elements from her new lifestyle that is rather simplistic and related to Aunt Laura, that would be a great reference to her new lifestyle. We also know that Sam has her driver's license but cannot drive because she does not have a car. So if you want to add in a car key to your image, because that is something that comes up throughout the story, that's a great reference to this particular storyline within the story. However, if you are using car keys, make sure you are not using keys to a vehicle that you are currently using, just to be on the safe side. Of course, we know that Sam uses the computer to interact with the people that she has brought into her revenge plan to secretly work against Jessica without the society finding out. There's a lot of really great ways we can reference the characters within this story. Now we know that Jeremy wears glasses. This is an important part of one of the scenes toward the end of the story, so adding in a pair of glasses would be a great way to represent him. We can also represent Ransom, our resident bad boy, by alluding to motorcycles. Anything black leather, a motorcycle helmet, even if you have access to a motorcycle, that would be a great thing to put in your imagery to represent him. And of course there's Jessica. We know that Jessica is a cheerleader, so anything cheerleader related would be great in your images. You can get pom-poms, you can get cheerleader skirt, anything like that would be fantastic to reference her. Now we also know that there are some interesting things that go on throughout this book to get revenge against Jessica, and one of those things is brownies. I can't say very much about them because it is a big part of the story and really determines the entire outcome of her revenge plan. But putting in those brownies is going to be a great reference to that particular scene in the book. We know that the book spans 2 seasons, both fall, the beginning of the school year, and winter. And we know that these are very important within the story, so I would recommend putting your book in fall leaves or taking it outside and putting it up against the fall background. Something like that would be really cool to reference those leaves that are important within the story. And then, of course, there's snow. You don't want to put your book directly in snow, but having snow within your image somewhere would be a really great reference to that time period and that one particular scene that we're all thinking of that I can't tell you about. And of course, toward the end of the book, we know that a lot of drama happens. One of the most dramatic scenes, of course, involves a vase. So if you can find a vase and get that in with your book, that would be a really great reference to the ending of that story right before everything falls to pieces. Of course, you can do things like adding in the school uniforms that the kids have to wear. You can add in school supplies because it takes place within the school. You can add in all sorts of elements that are really going to reference the settings of the story. Whether you're basing your imagery off of the content of the cover or content of the story, make sure that you are keeping it very clean, very simple, very classy. You don't want to use any distracting backgrounds. You don't want to overlap anything that's going to take away from the title or the author's name on the book cover. Your focus needs to be on getting your fans to look into this book based solely on your image. And it's a really cool thing because I've actually recently had a number of people reach out to me and let me know they have purchased books based solely on Instagram photos that I have put up that are designed and stylized to get their attention. And you have that power too. Go through the book, go through the cover, and find elements that are going to draw people in and make them wonder, why is that attached to this book and why should I read it? Whatever you do, keep your focus on the book cover and really showing off to the best of your ability why the book is so awesome. To find out more about how to stylize books like this one and implement it in your own marketing strategies, please visit www.readingtransforms.com and blog.readingtransforms.com, as well as check out our video series that has tips for photographing books that you are really going to love. I'm KM Robinson of KM Robinson Photography and Reading Transforms. Stay inspired.